What's up with it, chocolatiers? Welcome back to another video today. Yesterday I watched Inside Out 2, and before we get right into that, please do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, okay? Show me a little bit of that joy that you have up there, okay? Now, before I get into the full review, I just want to cover a couple things real quick. So, Pixar, I've seen a lot of people hating on them lately, but for me, they never fell off. Pixar's Soul, I hate how Disney distributed that, putting that only on Disney+. But same goes with like Luca and Turning Red, which I know Luca and Turning Red, I think earlier this year, got a theatrical release. And Luca is actually now one of my favorite Pixar movies. Say what you want to say about Turning Red, but I still don't think it's awful. And last year we got Elemental, and it seems like the audience, even like something like Elemental that came out last year, which I think made its money back, it seems like we've kind of gotten to this thing where original movies are harder to make. And what I mean by that is that, like, you look at this year, right? Like, all of the flops / movies that aren't doing that good are semi-original. And the reason why I say that is because, like, something like Fall Guy is what I'm thinking about. Even though, my Xbox is on, I'm sorry. Even though Fall Guy, is based on a TV show, it's still kind of mainly an original premise, original script, stuff like that. Even though it is based on something. And, I just feel like these original movies, original-ish, aren't doing so good. And so, I kind of hate that Pixar is having to rely on a bunch of sequels and stuff. And if you've been into the news, if you don't know, they pretty much got announced from Bloomberg and some of these other places that the Pixar's whole plan going forward is that they're talking about maybe making Incredibles 3, but instead of that, they're talking about rebooting Incredibles, which I was like, why are we doing that? Just give me 3 at that point. And then they're talking about making a Finding Nemo 3. I know they're making Toy Story 5. That's pretty much being confirmed. And it seems like going forward, they're like, we are going to make original stuff, but it's just going to be less. So, for example, like, I know next year we're getting, Milo or something like that. We're getting that film. And then followed by that, probably Toy Story 5, some other sequels, this and that. And so, like, after 3-4 years of sequels, we might get something like 2027, 8, that's like original. And I really hate that for them because I'm like, it's a gamble. It's a gamble, like I said, like we saw with Elemental, which, we saw with Lightyear, which I get Lightyear wasn't, totally original, like it's, Lightyear. But still, though, I really hate that for Pixar because Pixar is that one thing at Disney that I just feel like is kind of untouched, if that makes sense. You look at all your Disney stuff that comes out now, like, say what you want to say about Star Wars, say what you want to say about Marvel and stuff, but Pixar is like that one movie that you can play around your family, any Pixar movie. Like, you can get Luca. Like I said, Luca, I love that movie so much. Ratatouille is my favorite Pixar film. And I just feel like, watching this movie, now getting into the review, Inside Out 2 just, it brought the magic back, okay? In a way that earlier this year when I watched how I felt. Except this movie, I felt it even more so because it's Pixar. Animation's on point. Acting's on point. The world and the themes are on point. The messages are on point. They didn't miss, okay? I'm just going to go and tell you right now, this is in my top 5 right now this year. It was that good. It follows the events of the first film, except it skipped over a little bit of time. So Riley now has 2 best friends, and they're going to like this hockey camp because she plays hockey with her best friends. And on the way to the camp, she learns that her 2 best friends are leaving her. They are basically like going to like a different school or something like that, and she's going to be at this other school by herself. And so around this time, she's also hitting puberty, and so you got a lot of changes going on, which is why the characters get introduced of anxiety, boredom, embarrassment, and envy. I think that's all of them. I think I got them right. And I really was loving where they were going with this because, just like recently, Bad Boys. I love all these comparisons I'm going to use for Inside Out. But even like recently, Bad Boys, I really liked how Bad Boys 4 had kind of like a realization, like real life, like a panic attack. And this movie kind of does something similar. I really like how they can show that, all the stresses of going to a new school without people that you know. Like what that does to you, okay? And I really loved how, it showed basically how people are. You know, it's not necessarily like there's certain parts of the film. It's not necessarily the fact that she's being selfish or being mean. It's just she's just thinking, you know, she's just got so high anxiety thinking, okay, well, if I don't befriend this girl, then this isn't going to happen. If I don't do this, this is going to happen. If I don't make the team, this is going to happen. Since I'm losing my friends, this is going like they always think the world's going to end. And even like being an adult, that still kind of follows suit, you know. And, you know, you overthink relationships, you overthink stuff like that. And so this movie was hitting close to home, and I think it was really, really good. I think it's definitely worth your time to go out there and watch. I really love, like I said, the new emotions. I love what they did, especially with anxiety. Because it's not necessarily her movie, but she's kind of like the sadness of this film. So like how sadness in the last movie was kind of like the one messing with stuff. This and that. This is anxiety now, so it's kind of like her movie in a way. But like it's just even like lines like what Joy was saying. There's like a line that she says in the movie that I really love where she's basically talking, I'm trying to remember it without butchering it. She's basically saying that maybe that's what happens when you become an adult, that you start to lose joy. And like stuff like that, I was like, damn. I said, Pixar is on this. They are on that money. I was out there trying to sip up the tears. I said, God, they are on this. I'm telling you. God, I'm just sitting there. I'm getting chill bumps thinking about that line. I was like, God. Because that is what happens. It's like when you become older, you pretty much just... I'm like, you don't fail. You know, hopefully you don't. But you just make everything more serious. Like when you're a kid, everything's so nice. You know, you're happy, you're sad, you know, whatever. Like everything's kind of just like by the numbers. But everything when you get older just gets so complicated, and like I said, there's multiple choices, multiple options, you know, ways that things can go, like the fact that, you know, you can't control how other people's emotions are, you know, how are they going to react, and like, it's just one of those things where I really love the journey that this movie took, because I guess I should get into that. So like, outside of that being the main plot, if you've seen the trailers, Anxiety and them kind of take over, and Joy and them have to pretty much save Riley. And going on this emotional journey, you know, there's a lot of things that they learned about, you know, maybe they should hold off on the reins a little bit. Maybe they shouldn't. You know, there's a lot of ideas tossed in here, and it actually makes me excited for a sequel after I just start talking about more original stuff. Because, you know, this movie only takes place over the course of 3 days over this camp, okay? And I was like, it's really good. I really liked that they did that. But like, if you know, the first film was like covering like her moving and this, that, being a kid. Second movie is like puberty and stuff like that. You know, the third film could, you know, like I said, they could franchise this. Like, I mean, they already have, but I mean even more, because like the third film could be about, you know, her in high school, like something going on there. And then maybe like, you know, fourth film, let's say cover into high school. Let's say the third film don't even cover all of it. Cover into high school. And I'm just saying, you can go into this. There's all kinds of things you can cover. And like, especially like with her getting to adulthood and stuff like that. And, you know, I saw on Twitter the other day, somebody was talking about a really cool idea would be to see how do the emotions, like what happens in the brain when somebody with Alzheimer's like comes along. And I was like, I think that'd be a little dark. I know Pixar's went dark before, but I think it'd be a little dark, but that would be interesting. Like, like, it don't have to be Riley. It could be like another character. Like, just imagine how that would go. Because, like, you know, in this film, you have a couple times, which is also in the trailer, no spoilers, where, like, nostalgia shows up. And I'm like, oh, you're, like, too early, this and that. And she's, like, this old lady reminiscing about the past. And I'm just sitting there thinking, I was like, well, how would that happen? Like, you know, like, if you're, like, that would be kind of sad. And, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with this movie. I think this movie is perfect Pixar glory, but at the same time kind of biased, so because I don't think any Pixar film's bad. Even the people that say, like Lightyear, I didn't hate it. Like, I'm just saying, I like Pixar movies, and I really love them. You know, Disney movies, which I know this is Disney related, but Disney animations where you kind of get that hit or miss, like kind of like Moana 2, I'm excited for, but I'm a little nervous because I know it's supposed to be a TV show, and it looks like they kind of just converted that and was like, let's make a movie, we'll make more money, and that's smart, you know. But like, they're making a Moana remake and stuff. So on the Disney side of it, I'm kind of whatever. Like, sometimes, like for every Tangled, you know, you be getting a Moana remake. You know, I'm just saying, for every Moana 2, you getting a Lion King live action. You know, I'm just saying. And like, even those movies I don't dislike, but it comes a time where you gotta quit. And so Pixar's still out here. Like, even if they want to make 1,000,001 sequels, I know they're gonna be good. You know, I know that they're going to have messages like this that resonate with audiences, and that's why my theater is full. And now, before I get done with this video, quick little story time for you if you missed my theater reaction. I'll say this for last because that was pretty funny. So yesterday, I went to the doctor, and apparently, like, my ears were, like, clogged up. Just, like, I guess, like, fluid or some shit. I don't know, my fat-ass head, whatever, something's going on. So my left ear was shot. I couldn't hear shit. I was basically talking. I was yelling the whole day, okay? So my right ear I could hear fine enough. So I'm sitting like this, you know, got my family sitting on this side, you know, everybody's eyes glued to the screen, you know. I'm sitting over here like, okay, bet. And so I'm not having a tilt, but like I'm watching the screen, I can hear. Because like the speakers on this side, I can hear what's kind of going on. There was some badass kids in this movie. That's the only problem with going to kids' films. I didn't notice it in If, I guess because If was more like kid-adult type of deal. But like, this was like, let's bring our badass kids here for the summer. This is like the movie they're going to go take them to. Nothing else this summer, just this. The next movie they go see is going to be Moana 2, Bet Your Life. And so, these kids will be like, oh my god, Bing Bong! I was like, Bing Bong's not even in it, by the way. That's not a spoiler. At the beginning, they're yelling this. I said, shut up! I couldn't hear. So there's so many times in the movie where I was like low-key having to read lips because like every time they said something, I was picking that up. My ear was like focused. I said, ear, fuck off. Get it? No. Wouldn't get the angle. I wouldn't get the angle. I said, at one point I was like Batman from fucking Dark Knight. I had to turn my fucking head. I said, kid, bro, I'm telling you. But see, my AMC theaters, I don't know if it's all of them. That's why I'm going to say mine. It could be all of them. If it is, AMC, fuck yourself. But if it's not my AMC, you can fuck yourself. Okay, they have this whole policy where, like, if you go and complain about somebody... See, I used to work at a theater. I was management at a theater, and it wasn't awful. My boss sucked, but it wasn't awful. And I remember, like, if somebody came, like, for example, Avatar. I worked Avatar Way of Water, okay, before I stopped. That was, like, one of my last few movies I worked there. Whenever somebody was like, dude, there's some kids up there, you go up there, talk to the kids, give them a warning. If they don't shut the fuck up, we would go kick the kids out. And their parents come pick them up. Because parents love doing that crap. I hate modern day parents. Jesus Christ. That's why I get so scared when there's so many people that I know that have kids. And I'm like, that's what you're doing on your Friday night? Where's your baby? You know, that's what I think. I'm not saying you got to give up your life, but, like, bro, like, don't drop them off in no damn movie theater, okay? Now, if you do that once or twice, okay, whatever, but, like, it was every single weekend. Like, same kids. It's like your parents just don't give a shit. And so, you know, back to the story time on topic, you know, there'd be, like, I would, like, you kick them out. But AMC Theater is the one I go to. Oh, my God, it's awful. Like, I will literally sit there, and I promise you, you'll go down there, you'll be missing your movie, by the way. Hey, there's like some bad people up in there. Like, you don't have to be kids because sometimes it was adults. Like Little Mermaid, it was adults. By the way, yeah, Little Mermaid. Calm the fuck down, okay? You'd be like, hey, like bad kids have been here or bad people, or whatever. Oh, well, we can't really kick them out, or go give them a warning. I said, dude, pussies. They literally were like, well, we can give you a pass for like a free movie and popcorn, but you have to leave the movie. What? So it's like you get in trouble. They're like, you have to leave the film, and because of them, your day has to be sucked and ruined, and you can go to a different showtime, like 2 hours later. Who works like that? Anyways, with that, I just want to say this. Please like and subscribe. I hope this review does some numbers because we're trying to get to 100 subscribers. We're getting very, very close, actually. Just 2 weeks ago, I said this, we were at 70-something. We were almost at 90 subs. So, no, that don't sound like a high number, especially if you're subscribed to the PewDiePies out there in the world. But Mr. Chocolate, we rising up, okay? So if you watch this review, share it, like it. I'm going to try to make some shorts. If you see those pop up on your feed and you've already watched the review, just like it and swipe out. You know, you got to watch it. Just like it. And with that, thank you guys so much for taking this journey with me. I know I started, around March. I'm going to try to have some more reviews out. I might start doing some more topics on there. The podcast should be coming back this week. I took a little hiatus from that because I took a trip, and then I kind of got sick, and then other stuff started happening, and then schedules were lined up. But we should be back for at least 2 weeks in a row. So next 2 weeks, expect those episodes to come out, Mr. Chocolate and Vanilla Podcast. And with that, like and subscribe for more, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
I love my popcorn. Movies, cheese popcorn.